Life doesn't get easier. It gets harder. You get bigger, you get fatter, you get uglier, you lose hair, right? And if you don't have a job, if you don't have a trade, if you don't have a way to make money, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think people are going to keep giving you handouts the rest of your life? That's how we have all these people who walk the street looking all Quasimodo-like, have no way of getting money, no traits, no skill. That's not. Nathan has a case here today. Okay. What was it? What page? Got it. You were Mr. Trevor Maines? Shh. Mr. Trevor Maines, you're charged with criminal trespass. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. Oh, guys, crap. I'm sorry. Sorry, John D. And thanks, Mark. This is Mr. Trevor Maines. It's the last name, Trevor Maines. I guess under Trevor.
Sorry about that, Judge.
It's okay.
So officer, are you ready for me?
Yeah, okay. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
Officers were dispatched to a bar in Harris County, Texas, in response to a suspicious person. The complaining witness, a security guard, told the officer that the defendant had left the bar and gotten into his car, but then returned a short time later carrying a gun. While there were other parties arguing in the outdoor area of the bar. The defendant took the gun and threw it under the fence. The complaining witness retrieved the gun, took the bullets out, and returned the gun to the defendant and told him to leave. Complaining witness then observed defendant go to the back of the bar and hop the fence to get back inside.
So they had told him to exit the bar, you said?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Trevor, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. How old are you, sir?
7.
What do you do with yourself these days? What do you do with yourself these days?
Self-unemployed. I don't have a job.
How come?
Just moved here. Moved out here.
From where? Okay. What are you planning on doing with yourself?
Job.
Okay. How long has it been since you've had a job?
Like 2-3 years ago.
2-3 years since you've had a job? How do you support it? How do you live? How do you eat? How do you get money? Okay.
Trouble. You see my record. I don't be in trouble.
Do you have any prior criminal history?
Just carrying a handgun in a motor vehicle that was dismissed.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to go back to this place. Do you understand? Not to be in possession of any weapons. Do you understand? So how are you going to get a lawyer, sir?
Get paid for them.
So you're just going to do nothing and
You sign me
so I don't want to talk to you the case. I don't want to talk about the case, but let me ask you this. You haven't had a job for 2 to 3 years. Why should the people of Harris County have to foot a bill for you when you get to do nothing for 3 years? How is that fair that we all have to pay for your lawyer when you don't do anything? You get to play Xbox all day, just hang out at home and do nothing, and we have to foot the bill for that? How's that fair?
I don't have it. What you want me to do?
So here's what we're gonna do. I'll have you fill out an application. I'm now making a condition of your bond. You got to get a job. And I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks. I want to see what you've done to get a job. You're 27 years old, dude. This life is really, really tough without money. And the older you get, life doesn't get easier. It gets harder. You get bigger, you get fatter, you get uglier, you lose hair, right? And if you don't have a job, if you don't have a trade, if you don't have a way to make money, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think people are going to keep giving you handouts the rest of your life? That's how we have all these people who walk the street looking all Quasimodo-like, have no way of getting money, no traits, no skill. That's not the way to go through life, man. Now is when you work your ass so that when you become 60, when you become 70, you have a cushion, you have somewhere to land. So you have a house, you have a nest egg savings. Because if not, I'm going to tell you now, you're going to have a really, rotten and miserable life. This life is a journey, and it's really a good journey where you buy nice things, have nice clothes, take nice vacations, pretty wife, kids, or it can be a rotten toilet of an existence where you're in and out of jail. You ain't got no money. You're begging every single person for this and for that. And that's not the way to go through life. Did you even graduate from high school? I want you to get a job. I will give you a lawyer today. But you're not to use alcohol. You're not to use illegal drugs. And I'm going to test you like crazy. I want you to know that now. And I'm going to hold you to a standard as well. Do you understand? And if you don't, life's not going to go well between you and I. I'm just telling you that now. You will be held to a standard. I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks. And I want to see what you have done to get a job. If you come back here and you ain't got nothing in your hand, it's not going to go well. Do you understand? You might give an application.
Page 28.
You heard the conditions, huh?
No drugs or alcohol in the
No, right. Random testing, no alcohol, no dope, no going back to this location, no weapons. And JOB. Okay. Vic,
Available on page 28.
good morning, Mr. Venable.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Venable, you're charged with 2 counts of assault. One is of a family member. On both of those, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay, Ms.
On January 21st of 2024 in Harris County, Texas, officers were dispatched to an AFM call. Officer met with the complainant. The complainant and the defendant have been dating for 5 months. The complainant and the defendant were arguing. The defendant pushed the complainant to the ground, causing her to scrape her right arm. While the complainant was still on the floor, the defendant stepped on her neck. Officer noted.
Stepped on her neck.
Yes, Judge. Officer noted redness on the complainant's arm and neck.
You know if it impeded breathing?
No, Judge. I don't, I can't, let me check. It wasn't charged as an impeding breath, so.
Well, I know it wasn't charged, but is it?
The DIMS don't say that she had any trouble breathing, but I'll look at the offense report, Judge.
And here's the other thing. The first assault is from October of 23. The second assault is from January of this year.
Yes,
And now we have a felony evading arrest on December 10th.
yes, Judge.
Were these 2 Bs? Was he out on bond for these? Vic, do you know?
It looks like. No,
So
it
this is
looks-
Venable, who's now picked up a 3rd case. He had 2 misdemeanors, one's from 23, one's from 24. Did we ever do PC or had he ever been on bond
No, Judge, it was just a non-arrival.
for the whole time? All right.
Judge, it doesn't say that she had trouble breathing, it just says that it caused her pain.
Okay. Can you do probable cause? So that's the family member, right?
That's the AFM,
Okay.
Judge.
Can you do the first case? Because I don't think we've done probable cause on that one though.
This is the AFM from January 21st. Oh, the ABI, the one before.
Yeah, the one before.
On 9/29/2023, officers were dispatched. On arrival, officers spoke with the witness, the complainant's wife, who said that the defendant assaulted the complainant by slapping him in the face because the complainant's dog killed the defendant's girlfriend's cat. Then officers spoke with the complainant, who said he had invited the defendant into his residence to discuss the situation when the defendant said she should knock the shit out of him. And the next thing complainant knew, the defendant had struck him across the left side of his face with his hand, causing pain.
Mr. Venable, I want you to understand one thing, that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my community at all costs.
Sure.
And if that means I have to make your bond extremely high, taking you into custody, kicking and screaming, I'll do it in a heartbeat. Do you understand?
Sure.
I'm ordering you as a condition. I'm going to find probable cause on both of your cases, and I'm ordering you not to have any contact with either of the people in this case.
Sure.
There's a protective order that has been issued in the family case. I would get to know it. Don't say anything. You will get the opportunity. Now is not that time. I'm telling you what the expectation is while these cases are open, and what the expectation is for you to be able to live in this free world. Because if you don't abide by these expectations, I'm going to take the free world away from you. You are not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. You're also not to have contact with either of these people, not to be in possession of any weapons, and abide by the conditions of the protective order. If you violate those conditions of the protective order, the state can file a fourth case, a violation of a protective order. If they do, that is the capital murder of misdemeanors. It's one of the worst cases you can pick up, and you violate those conditions, I can have a hearing to hold you at zero bond. Zero bond, and I'll do it in a heartbeat to protect every person. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have a Texas driver license?
I do, but it's
So you do not have a Texas driver license. I am now ordering you also as a condition of your bond not to drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising you that you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care what you got to do. I don't care where you got to go. You violate this, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get into a car.
an Ubering to and from, so.
Don't. There's nothing you can say to justify. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you what the expectation is.
Yes, Your Honor.
We are now going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So for now, I'm going to have you come up here, sign this order, promising us you're not going to drive. I will get you to Victoria, where we will have you sign a reset for you to go get a lawyer. You will meet with Felicia for your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go.
So,
The one in there that has contact.
Got it. Okay. So Rosette, the order in the one that's signed by the magistrate is allowing contact, but I'm going to issue one now so that he cannot have contact. Okay? Just so that you know.
Also, I don't see a motive on the assault bodily injury case.
Well, it's because it's not a family member case. That's why. You can only do one on the family member cases. All right? That way. John D.
Good morning, Judge.
Hey, bud.
Judge, was that CHA?
sorry, Your Honor.